Okay, nerds. So, Poxwalker Dredge time. So we've got four Poxwalkers over here. We're going to try these in a dredge shell today. So we changed dredge a little bit. We've lost the chills, we've lost the ghoul, the silver spike ghouls, and we've lost a thug to make space for some Poxwalkers, some therapies, and three bridge from the below. I've dropped one bridge from below to try and squeeze in a gap. Nice big fat creature that can come back. And then, yeah, the therapies and the GAC will all trigger our Poxwalkers. Our bridges will cast our GAC. Our bridges will give us material when we stack to therapy. And the rest of it after that is going to be stock dredge cards that you expect to see. So one troll, four shell, four imp, three thug. So a bunch of dredgers. And then we've got four narcs, four icarids, four hollow ones. That's some nice threats. I need that hollow one back. And then we've got Chalice, Force, and Misstep as interaction. So as always, powdering for Bazaars. Can't operate without a Bazaar, so we go and find that first of all. And then maybe interact a bit with our Grease Forces and Missteps and that sort of thing, therapies. And then turn your deck over and declare your opponent dead. That's roughly going to be the plan for today. I've gone up to four Sickening Shoal because there's been a random uptick in Jailers, four Ley Lines for opposing of Bazaar decks, four Vigors to kill Needles and opposing Ley Lines, and then some Wastelands and Strip Mines to kill Starkers and Tabernacles and Bazaars. So that's the deck. I'll see you down for round one. Okay, round one. We're up against King Cedrus, and we have won a die roll. What a day. Two Bazaars. Tidy. So we'll keep that, I reckon. Seems like a good keep. And we've got a bridge. Icarid Thug. Yeah, it's looks great. I'd like to, if we field a Chancellor, which typically means Oops or Mono White. Let's hope it's Mono White. We'll play a Bazaar, and we're going to hope to hit a blue card and a spell, I guess. So two things. So we'll discard the obvious discards. Is that right? Yeah. Discard the obvious discards. Cross our fingers and pray. And then they've got a Chrome Mox to start things off. They're going to exile a Chancellor of the NX. And then let's hope that they are, in fact, mono white. Yes, cool. Because if they want oops, we just probably die here. And they've got the therapy. Trigger. Thalia is going to do an equally good job of making us not very alive, though. So, um, I think we'll hold on to our force. So we can like punt our force away, right? I know this can't be countered, and then because of the Chancellor, it also can't be countered. So we could like maybe I'm supposed to punt it away, but I like the cards in hand. I think I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I'll keep it for now. I know I now can't cast any of these spells ever. And this is only annoying if we miss on this thug activation, right? And hit a hollow one or something. That's when that's really annoying. But we didn't do that, so we're never going to play a hollow one today. So it doesn't really matter. Um, we've drawn a Hogak. Maybe that was a reason why I wanted to punt it away then. Just because of the GAC in the deck. Because now my GAC gets counted first time around. We've dredged an Imp, put an Narcomoeba into play. We'll play Bazaar of Baghdad and we'll dredge Thug. We'll dredge Troll. Trigger these nerds. Modo struggling. Say yes. So I can't, yeah, so I can't cast therapies at all. My Hogak gets countered. I can't cast Hogak this turn, so let's make them chump block us. And then we'll get some zombies. I'm not sure how many we get. Two. Yeah, so they can just never attack us, right? And I get an amalgam. And next turn I can maybe cast Gak twice. There's no tricks here from us. It's just actually I can cast Gak, try and cast Gak this turn, and that will at least trigger the Poxwalkers, right? it will get countered by the Chancellor trigger. So let's get rid of Hollow One, Powder, Bazaar, Misstep, Force, and tap this guy, tap this guy. It gets countered, but then I get like a billion Poxwalkers. So yeah, cool. You'll go. I won't pay the one. Thanks for offering. Right, over to the opponent. Time for their main deck Tabernacle. But I think we're in a good spot. Opponent agrees. Let's go to game two. So sideboarding, they usually become quite a Tabernacle-centric deck, although that's been changing recently. The mono-white sideboards have been so random. Not random, but they've gone through their own shifts over the time it's been around. I don't know what it is, like 15 months or so. So it's like EW 22 plus, right? So yeah, so things we need to consider. 4 Containment Priests, that's coming in, and I think that's the stock standard at the moment. We don't need the Leyline of Void, got no idea why they're there. Vigors, in case they have ley lines. Wastelands, in case they have tabernacles. What I've found is that they'll be usually on a combination of ley lines or tabs. Right, so it'll always be the priests. There might be some tabernacles, there might be some ley lines. Those two are up in the air. From us, we can drop the negations. We can drop the misstep. I think we can drop the chalice on the draw. That might make us want to drop the force of wills and just get kind of rocky with our approach to the game. And now I still need 3 cuts. That could be the lands. I don't think that's good though. I like hedging the vigors for now, and then we can mess about later. So maybe it's just be like a little off the top. So maybe like a thug, a therapy. We won't be cutting the Poxwalkers today because that's what we're trying out. So we'll just trim a grief, and then we'll submit this. I could look up King's Hedress and their exact list, but where's the fun in that when you're memeing with Bazaar of Baghdad and Poxwalkers, eh? But yeah, but I typically try not to look people up when I'm playing leagues because it gives like a nice little experience where we have to react to stuff. So we obviously keep Bazaar on 7, 2 games in a row. Seems nice. Opponent has not mulligan, but they have registered 61, so I can't deck them anymore. It's a shame. So just waiting for the opponent to make an action. One thing to note now that we're registering Bridge from Below is that with your grief, you want to lead Bazaar and then play grief. I know grief's not great on the draw, but it is food for our grid. There's a bit of interaction. It might help us play around a tabernacle. It might help us play around something like that. No ley line to start with, so that's kind of cool. And they've got a jet. If they've got a second one of those, they might be able to hardcast a ley line. So Cavern of Souls. Oh, they did end up mulliganing. They've got 5 cards total. So Thalia's fine. Hollow One's good. So yeah, so as I said, we want to lead Bazaar and then cast Grief. Okay. We'll pitch the Shambling Shelf. It doesn't look like we're going to need the green card. So we'll take a look at their hand. We'll take the Peacekeeper. And now that trigger's resolved, we can activate our Bazaar. We'll hit our bridge, which is tasty because it shows the point sort of thing. And now we get a bridge from below trigger, and that's through hate, like let's say Ravenous Trap, Surgical Extraction, right? We've intersected that hate before we try and put the trigger on the stack. So now I get a zombie for free. What a beautiful day. And now I'll cast 2 Hollow Ones, and if they top deck a Tabernacle, then good on them. Right, you'll go, opponent. And we've got a Dredge 5 in the yard, just in case we need it. So opponent's card is Ancient Tomb and a Concession. So good on us. I'll see you for round 2. Okay, round 2. We're up against Atlante. We have not won a die roll. We have not got a Bazaar. So you can't have it every day. We can, however, exile 3 hollow ones. So let's do that. And now we've got a Bazaar, 2 bits of interaction, and then a third piece of interaction next turn. So that sounds like a great 7, to be honest with you, doesn't it? We do very much need access to our graveyard this game just because the absence of hollow ones in our deck. Opponent has a Ruby. They did reveal a Lurus of the Dream Den and a Tundra. And a Seal of Cleansing. I mean, all my hollow ones are dead, so I guess that's fine. And a Bauble. And they're going to Bauble me. Cool. So back to us. Opponent's going to draw a card in our upkeep and go back up to 4 cards. And the top cards are Powder. Let's activate this. And what do we get? We get another Force of Will. So I think I'm going to go. So we definitely want to discard the Icarid. We definitely want to discard at least 1 Dredger, maybe 2. I'm going to assume that my 2 Force of Wills will help me survive the next turn. So I'm going to discard Dredger, Icarid. And that way we're playing as well around Wasteland as we can. And if we do get the opportunity to discard this Therapy, then that will be sick. So, yeah, pass the turn back. Opponent's going to go up to 5 cards after their draw step. And let's just hope that their turn is to buy Lurus and pass the turn. Never lucky. Right. Bazaar down, and that's why we discarded these 2 Dredgers. I should have, sorry, I'm going to move my graveyard over here. I usually try to do that, but I forgot about it in round 1. So I'll try to do that in the future. And we're just going to dredge here. We'll say no to Icarid for a moment. Nope. And then we'll dredge this Stinkweed. And we'll hit nothing. But we did hit Therapy and a Grief. So we'll have that next turn. We didn't hit another Dredger, which is a shame. But we are, provided we don't have to counter a spell, our next dredge from that thug will put us up to 8. So we'll be cruising from here on out, provided they don't ask us to counter a spell. So Misty Rainforest and a pass. So are you doing something? Oh yeah, post-combat fetch. Maximizing their mana drain. And they buy Lurus. Cool. Right. Over to our turn 3. This time we can grief them. Or not grief them. We can Icarid. And this is going to hurt them, I think. So Thug. And we hit a Troll that time. And another Therapy. So we'll get in for 3. And the beautiful thing about this is that they have just... No Poxwalkers for this Therapy, unfortunately. But I don't think we can mess around. Because they have just given us a card to name this Therapy. So we'll maximize that opportunity. So Therapy U. And I think we'll name Lurus of the Dream Den, actually. Yeah. Lurus of the Dream Den. So Force of Will, Dress Down, Orcus Bowmasters, a bunch of nonsense. Yeah. They reveal their hand, I have to press OK. So Lurus is dead, Lurus is dead. I'll discard a Stinkweed Imp. And they've got Force, Dress Down, Bowmen. Luring if they want it. Nice draw. So that can race us. That can race us really hard, especially if they've got Soul Guide in their main deck. So I think we'll exile a Grief. And I'm going to exile a Shell. And then I'll dredge my Troll. And that's got us a Therapy. So let's attack. We'll force the Bowmasters on the way down, I think, because that just sounds really annoying. So it's going to be force. We trade our hands. So exile a Narc. I think I've got enough going on with my graveyard to get there. So force pitching dress down, which is great news for us. Let's force your misstep. So they go to 9. No bridges still. And now we can make them cycle that Lorien, can't we? So let's do that. Or not. Lorien revealed. That's the last card in hand, right? Yeah. Cool. Okay, so they've got no cards in hand. Sagas play Icarids. Who would win? I presume us. Have I got 3 things to eat? No, I've got 2 things to eat. Rough. So let's get a grief. I'm going to eat an Icarid as well, I think. Icarid eats Icarid. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then that triggers the amalgam. We dredge the Stinkweed Imp. Narcomoeba's pretty large game, as is therapy. Triggers the amalgam. And we hit another therapy and a Poxwalker, so that should just be able to overwhelm them this turn. That's just enough before they get to resolve their saga and possibly get a Soul Guide Lantern, right? That's the fear. The top decked Bowmaster would be horrific, but well, gross. Yeah, because now they block, which means I've got to sacrifice my Narcomoeba. Wow, that was a couple of insane draw steps, right? So their draw steps was just Saga into Bowman. Well, we're gonna get a bit of power into play. So what's the best way to do this? So I can therapy myself, and I guess I'll just ditch a throw. Because then if they've got the Soul Guide Lantern in their main deck, then that's awkward. But if they haven't, then I've got my best Dredger. And this puts a Poxwalker into play. So I've got Poxwalker, Amalgam, and then possibly some Icarids. Depends on what they get off this trigger. But good draws from the opponent. I'm not saying that they're like specifically luck sacking me into the ground sort of thing, but I feel like that was their best 2. Manifold Key. That is great news. And now I regret not therapying a black creature. So I'm going to get a shell out of here. Do I want to Icarid and Icarid again? I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's fine. And now we'll dredge the troll. We hit Hogak. Hogak's kind of bananas. I kind of want to attack with everyone. So let's send it with the 2 creatures that can die. These guys here. Just try and grind them out this way. So if these 2 creatures trade and then I cast Hogak, then these creatures come back. And if they don't trade, I get in for 6, and then the Icarids die, and I'll have a Hogak in play. But the absence of main deck graveyard hate, well, I guess main deck graveyard hate is Pithing Needle, right? That's got to be it. And it's a bit late for Needle. So opponent's considering blocking, but anything they trade with here just comes immediately straight back, provided they don't have like a push. They've got a concession, that's what they've got. Right, Saga decks. They did have a Tundra in the deck, so we'll bring in Sickening Shoals. Bring in Strip Mines. I think it's going to be the same as against Mono White, actually. I think something like this. Chalice can go. Forces can go because we're going to focus on figures. Misstep can stay because they might have, well, they will have the Needles and Soul Guide Lantern. We're on the draw, so I definitely want these figures, right? So I don't want to just get turn one needled. And then I've got 4 cuts to make. That's quite a lot of cuts. Let's cut a Grief. Let's cut a Therapy. Let's cut a Thug. And I guess we can trim an Ichrid or a Bridge. Let's try a Bridge, I think. I really like the bridges. I really like it when I get Flow Bridge from below. So let's just cut ourselves a Ichrid and, complain that we didn't draw any threats this game. Okay, so our first 7 means we get to reshuffle our deck. Our second 7 has got Force and green card, strips and wastes for Sagas and a Troll. So we'll keep this. And then do we think this is a 1 strip mine game or a 2 strip mine game? I think because we've mulliganed, it's going to be a 1 strip mine game. They kept 7. It's a game of 7 cards in hand. That seems largely unfair. I always have to mulligan. I don't know why other people get to keep 7, I'm going to drop the instant ingredient if I change my mind. That might be a massive mistake. So, over to the opponent. Right, Jet. Cool. Delta. Pass. So, in the Squee decks, I don't hate Vigoring now because then when that forces them to Bowmaster you, right? But I think here we can just carry on with our day. One thing about my list is I do not have any Noxious Revivals. So my Bazaars are just dead. So more than likely here comes a Bowmaster. Yep. And we've got to assume that they've also got a Containment Priest or blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. Also, yeah, no, they've got Jets. That's why they can fetch us and Bowman us. Cool. That seems fine. Then they'll waste us. And then we'll be on the play for game 3. I think that's how this whole sequence works. So, Poxwalkers. So it's got to be Grave Troll. And then, yeah, Poxwalker, right? Because we need this Hogat for a needle or something. Yeah, I'm at 17. It's fine. I won't be doing much more of that if I have it my way. Why are we still here? Magic Online. Right. So opponent's turn 2. And so there's the Wasteland. And if it's just Wasteland attack for 4 parts a turn, it's like the world's most faced up Containment Priest, right? So yeah, here we are. Yeah. I'll dredge a Troll. Miss everything ever, was that? I did hit another Dredger. Just play a Wasteland. We did hit a Sickening Shoal. And now I'll Wasteland them upkeep. So I've got the strip for the Saga. And this would have forced them to eat their own, or like cast their own Containment Priest at an inopportune time, right? it tells if they then do that, then I eat their turn 2 or turn 3 mana, and they have to then cast their spell. I eat their mana, and then I know whether I'm drawing cards or dredging shells, right? Okay, they had the second land, but it's fine. So they buy Aluris. We just need to hit something this turn, so I think we're dying otherwise. Narc. Yeah, that's sick. So Narc, let's therapy. So I can therapy myself, get bridge from below. That'll give me 2 Poxwalkers and a bridge trigger. And I can therapy them pitching their Lurus, which will give me so I'll end up with 6 tokens. That sounds good. Yeah, so therapy myself. I get 2 Poxwalkers and a bridge from below token. And I'll name bridge from below. So my bridge goes away. My opponent knows my hand. Cool. Now I'll therapy you, and my Poxwalker will immediately come back, and I'll have 2 bridge tokens. Lurus, right? We know they've got Lurus. So Lurus to the Dream Den. Show me your other secrets. Force, Plow, Manifold Key, right? What did I just say? Force, Plow, Manifold Key. You don't have a Lurus. So yeah, this should be relatively close to over, I think. So we'll strip this. We'll cast a Hogak. Pitch. So I've got a Hogak, and now I'm going to vigor their 2 artifacts in their upkeep. Oh. So this one. So opponent's got no lands, no castable spells, and a smaller board state than me. Seems okay. Yeah, everything will trade. Yes, they'll kill my bridges, but I'll get some bridge tokens as well. And I've got blockers so they can't get into their final 9. And it's not going to be a little sort of close thing. So they block. They take 1. I need to read all of these. So it's put into your graveyard. So those ones need to resolve first. So click on the opponent one, click on the opponent one. So now I've got some tokens. Maybe I should have attacked with my zombies. Maybe I'm just playing that far too passively. Yeah, now I've given them like extreme tap the top deck tab out, sorry. So opponent dead on board, must have been a tabernacle in the last 2 draw steps. I think I misplayed this. I think I'm supposed to attack with my 2/2s as well. And just accept some fates. Right. We win a match. I'll see you for round 3. Okay, round 3, we're up against Fanta Man 95. We want a die roll. Cheeky Bazaar on 7. Oh, this sounds sick. This sounds so cool. Right, so I would like to keep my hand. Yes, thank you. So I've played against Fanta Man a lot recently. I still can't tell you what they're playing. I've got no idea. It could be Oath. I'm just the memory isn't there right now. I think they've beaten me a lot recently as I've been playing around with different Bazaar brews and Poxwalker brews. But yeah, I think they've got my number recently. So let's play our Bazaar. Let's grief them once, pitching an amalgam. Show me your secrets. What have you got? Oh, dredge stuff. 2 Bazaars. So we'll activate now. Hmm. Some amount of regret, I won't lie to you. Oh, Icarid, Amalgam, Amalgam, cast a hollow one, cast a hollow one. I can now, I don't have any dredges, right? So Phantom Manta's gonna plow through us really quickly with this hand. So I'm gonna bring back an Icarid though and get in for 8 points damage. Imp Imp Troll, fucking hell. Never will be more dead. Um the dredging response activating response. Yeah, so we've got these guys. We'll exile a grief, please. Trigger my two amalgams. Dredge, tell me about my Narcomoebas. Never lucky. Well, I did hit a Poxwalker, but no therapies just yet. So let's just slay. And they're going to go off this turn because they've got the. So two amalgams, right? Yeah, two amalgams. They're going to go off though because they've got the two Bazaars. So it's going to be very difficult for us to compete with that. We have got two Icarids though. They're on a chill build. So one Narcomoeba, one Narcomoeba. That's the draw step. One Narc and a chill so far, but they've got half a deck to go and two more dredges, so another 10 or so, 10, 11 cards to see. All right, just straight in. Didn't play the second Bazaar. Well, I don't understand anything. They're just happy, think that's enough. So I'll dredge my Stinkweed Imp, I'll dredge my Shambling Shell, and I'll hit a Narcomoeba with my own. Icarus going to exile a Grief. Icarus going to exile a Grief. Let's dredge Stinkweed Imp. Let's. How many Poxwalkers are there? I've got no idea what they're holding. I sort of don't care, right? I just want the largest number of threats in play. So let's therapy my instinct freedom, I think. And I get a Poxwalkers and a bridge token. Stink freedom. I haven't hit my Hogak, have I? No. Am I going mad? They had two Bazaars, right? And a second turn. I'm so confused. Right, well, let's just send these creatures at our opponent. I'm going to get three creatures back anyway because of the bridges. Two creatures back. And then from the stack, they're taking 13, so they'll go down to 2. They've also got access to all of their chills ever. They kind of, I think they do want to trade the hollow one, right? Oh no, so this is gonna, oh no, so that's gonna sell the bridges anyway, so I won't get this trigger. So the opponent's one can resolve last, and then I'll get my 2 tokens. And then my bridge will go away, and my Icarid will die, my amalgams will all roll in, and it's just like a whole little party. And our opponent's at 1. They can chill themselves back up if they can. Well, they can get through their whole deck, right? I'm convinced they have a second Bazaar. So, yeah, if we die here, I wouldn't be at all surprised. So we're taking 6 minimum, plus any chills they find. Well, they've already been through 1 chill, which means 9 left, which means they can't kill us, right? Because we'll be on 2. I'm not at all claiming that I can count, but I'm claiming that they might not have enough power and toughness this turn. But then it's whether I can get through with my army versus a whole load of narcs. So the squad comes in, basically. Oh no, there was a second Bazaar, just on turn 3. Yeah, that confused me. So Narcomoeba Creeping Chill. I'm glad I don't have to do any of this calculations on their side. I don't know what they can and can't attack with, and yeah, no point for the nonsense. I'm at 11, right? So block, 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 block. And I win. That's exciting. So, ley lines are useful, vigors are useful, wastelands are useful, right? Noxious are bad. Oh, not noxious are bad. Sorry, that's a complete lie. I was thinking about their noxious and my misstep. So negations and forces are typically bad. Um, 4 cards to cut. Grief seems like it's a complete embarrassment, right? So I think they can go. And then we can keep our misstep to counter their noxious. Yeah, I think this is how we'll go about it for game 2. Okay, so we've not got Bazaar. They've exiled some cards. Let's take a look. Double Vigor, you'll have to see it. So we'll mulligan this. I'm going to powder away a Leyline. Unhappy. What do I want to keep, though? That's the big question. I guess we keep Dredges. Actually, no, I like keeping action on the bottom. But what class? None of these classifiers last card action, do they? No, so we'll keep a Dredge in our deck then. And then powder this. Yeah, we'll keep this and we'll suck it up when they've got a ley line. They kept 7, no ley line. So no players with a ley line. I've got no dredges again, but I have got 2 bazaars this time around. And I'm probably going to play my second bazaar on turn 2. So, right. Opponent's graveyard. Oh, that's a revealed zone, sorry. Opponent's graveyard is triple dredger. Seems legit. So let's play bazaar, activate bazaar. And we'll discard Walker Therapy. No, I should trigger my Icarus, shouldn't I? But I can't bring any back next turn. Oh yeah, I can. So let's go Poxwalkers, Icarid. Hope to not get wasted. And then I can activate again on upkeep in response to the Icarid triggers. Hopefully discard a not green creature, a black creature. That's the one downside of sliding out Grease, right? Is that you run lower on irrelevant black creatures. Obviously, them having so they've got double Narcomoeba, double Amalgam off of this activation. Yeah, they've had a very strong start, and that's before they might play a Wasteland and stuff. So it's going to be. Oh, they've got second Bazaar again. Turn 2 Bazaar's busted, man. So yeah, so they've got 17 cards in deck at the end of turn 2. I don't know how many Amalgams they're flipping. 3? All of them? Yeah, so 2 now, 1 on my end step. Tough beats. So we'll activate now. So Imp Therapy, Poxwalkers, Icarid eats Icarid. Yeah. Icarid's gonna eat Icarid. This is my graveyard here. And then I'll dredge my Stinkweed Imp. They've got Noxious Revival. Now's a really good time to use it. No, cool. So I'll dredge my Stinkweed Imp. 2 bridges. Nice. And a Stinkweed Imp. So I can therapy my Stinkweed Imp if I want to. But I just need to go as wide as possible with bridges. I've only got 1 left. I think I'll just play my Bazaar and go ham. Or as ham as I can. So that's Stinkweed Imp into Thug. And still just 2 bridges. So we'll discard these nerds. I get 2 Narcomoebas of my own. Only 1 Amalgam though. But what I do have that the opponent doesn't have is Bridge from Below. Obviously, their Icarids are going to take my bridges. Right, so what can the opponent have realistically that's going to interact with us this game? They clearly don't have a trap. They could have a Noxious, but don't think I care about that. I can't attack into the Narcs. Can my opponent ever have anything here? I don't know. They've got Force of Wills in their deck. They've got ley lines in their deck. I just want to know what's a therapy. I can't therapy dredges. Let's therapy you. Cracking my Icarid. Bringing back all my creatures. That's going to trigger the amalgams. What do I name? Can't name Wasteland, can I? So I don't know. Force of Vigor? Force of Will, not gonna be the Creeping Chill. Sure. Let's target you again. I'll get my Poxwalker back and 2 more dudes. So now the board's kind of stalled. So that's good. And then, what did I just see? Creeping Chill. I'll just take the Force of Will. I don't know what's going on. Force of Will now can't counter my Hogak if I ever find it. Cool. Not that I've got anything to cast, but it's just, I need to do this before that Icarids come back so that I get my bridge tokens now, right? My Amalgam's going to come back and then we'll have to reset next turn and maybe find our 3rd bridge. I don't know. But I can't ever attack there. We just need to maximize the bridge from below. So over to the opponent. They get Amalgam triggers. I get Amalgam triggers. They've got 1 Icarid. I've got 1 Icarid. They've got 2 Bazaars. 2 Bazaars battling is quite fun. So Chill and an Arc from them. So if they got a Ghoul in there, can't see one at the moment. I don't understand how they've got so much and I feel like I've got so little. However, I feel like I can outlast a lot of this. Yeah. We've got another Chill. I go to 11. They've got 3 cards left in deck. Maybe I can't outlast this because they've got triple Icarid, right? So in come the whole squad. So Narcomoeba's trade. Did they find another amalgam? No. Did they find a silver smoke ball? I can't see a silver smoke ball. In exile, they've got triple chill and 1 in hand, so there's no more chills to trigger ghouls with anyway. But that means if I eat as many amalgams as I can like this and take 6 going down to 5, they can't chill me. They can only Icarid me. I'm going to get 2 more zombie tokens and keep 2 zombie tokens. And the amalgams can't come back until their next end step, which slows them down by a turn. I think that's the way I want to play it. I'm going to take 6. Let's just move my graveyard. Yeah, I'm going to take 6. And I've got these blockers, and that's block, block, block. And now I've got to hope I find something right. What can I find, actually? I can find another bridge from below, which will make some nerds. I'm a bit scared all my guys are tapped. That might be an issue. Yeah, well, I like this block. So this happens, I go to 5. I keep 2 blockers, I make 2 blockers. My bridges go away. I make 1 Icarid, I get possibly 1 zombie token from my Icarid. Possibly more if I find more therapies, but I might not have many therapies left. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Gat got exiled. That's awkward. Cool. I don't know if this is good. Oh my God. So opponent, this might be the worst thing ever. This is like the Dredge Mirror version of. Okay, they've conceded. I was gonna say this might be the Dredge version of resolving Flusterstorms. Opponent's conceded. I'm not sure. They've got three cards. So they don't need to activate a Bazaar again. Um, yeah, cool match though. So we're now 3-0, 6-0. A lot of clicking draw next card. I'll see you for round four. Okay, round four, we're up against Mago. Underscore Mago, underscore, sorry. Um, and we've got a die roll. Nice. Is that? I'm extremely unlucky. I don't know if you've noticed. Right, two Bazaars. Okay, that's. I guess that is okay. Right, I'll keep this. I'll bottom with therapy. Although actually, I've kind of been begging for therapy, haven't I? Yeah, no, I'm dropping therapy though. So let's play this, and we will activate our Bazaar of Baghdad. Two easy discards to start with, or relatively easy discards. If we draw another Force of Will, this amalgam discards gets a bit harder. But I think we'd still do it. Ooh. No. I'm not griefing them. I'm just going to hold up my Force of Will. They didn't reveal a Chancellor. They didn't reveal a Lurus. Oh, so does that change our mind? Just in case we want to grief them? No, because I can dredge a shell next turn and grief them. If I really want to take that route, depending on what their opener is. And one thing to note here, right, is if we, let's say they go Landmox Oath, or they go Mana Crypt. I don't think I want to fight a Mana Crypt. We can eat our amalgam. Oh, Patchwork Automaton. That seems relatively annoying. Do I want to? They haven't played a land yet. Do I want to fight the Automaton? Probably not. Even so, it gets too big. Like I've got bridges, right? So I've got like blockers for weeks and months at this point. Into Mox Pearl. Mox Pearl's fine. I'd rather counter something like a Golos or a Sphere. Maybe not Sphere. Maybe I've got to counter a Sphere. Phyrexian Revoker also does something close to nothing. Yeah. I've got nothing to activate, right? No. Yeah, cool. Crack on, bro. So they've got 4/4. Yeah, they can't think of anything either. Um, yeah, cool. Let's stretch our shell. Oh, and a thug as well. Talk to me. And a Hogak. And a bridge from below. We got it all. We got it all. Let's eat a shell, seeing that's our worst. Oh no, there's a grief now. I'm talking nonsense. So that triggers an amalgam. I get to dredge a thug. I get an Archimeber. I've got a Poxwalker with therapy for therapy, then make a bridge. Oh, we're just going off over here. So dredge a troll, dredge a stinkweed, discard these three, have Force of Will open, make an Archimeber. Um, therapy you, sacrificing Narcomoeba or Icarid. I guess the Icarid's just going to run headfirst into this guy. Yeah. So Icarid, trigger three Poxwalkers and three bridges. Pay me. And then we'll name, I guess, Golos. And then we'll cast a Hogak. Yeah, leave me alone, Modo. Just do it all. They conceded. All right, we're up against shops. I guess Force of Vigor is good. Strip Mine and Tabernacle, or Tabernacle and Saga are things we want to destroy as well. And then do they have any creatures that matter? I don't think so. One thing that would be sick if they had it would be I think that's the new thing out of 40k, which like exiles your whole yard and makes you cry. I'll trim a thug And then I need one more trim or more cut. I think I'll cut an Icarid. So let's register this. See how we do. Oh, missed that. Fuck. Yeah, but it's for my blue count, guys. So that's why it's there. That was cool. Two Bazaars on 6. We did unfortunately have to mulligan for it, but sometimes you have to. Two Bazaars, Force of Will, no dredges. So this has been quite the sick league so far. Let's see if we can get this force through though. Because now they know what we're doing, right? It's far more likely that they'll keep a hand that's like, oh, like that. That's annoying. They mulligan to 6 for that into a workshop. And no plays. All right. That's a shambling shell. I guess strip mine them first. Because this is a really weak opener from them. And it just gives me 2 more draw steps towards a Force of Vigor. Yeah, no, they've got fuck all. So now we can play our Bazaar. We can activate it and be sad. Okay. Oh, do I want to discard the Narcs? I guess so. Narc and Poxwalkers is easy. And I guess Hogak can go. Or maybe it's just Narcomoeba, Poxwalker. I'm going to discard the Hogak. And the reason why is if they cast a spell, then I can pitch this Narcomoeba and then maybe draw into a blue card later. So I've got a Wasteland already for that. And where their hand's so bad. Oh, okay. So we have to play Bazaar instead. Bazaar pitch. Let's play Bazaar. Now I've got Vigor on upkeep. You've got no permanents going into turn 4, which is quite cool for us. So we'll kill those. And it depends on their turn here as to what we do, right? Mox Jet. Fine. Pithing Needle. Not fine. They've got 4 cards in hand. I've got 1 free activation here to hold my Wastelands as well. So I think I'll use that and then decide. Right. I kind of want to hit a Dredger. They've got 4 cards in hand. Yeah, I'm just going to go, I think. 4 cards, 1 mana. Still no Dredgers. Upkeep. Still no Dredgers. Still no Dredgers. There he is. Bang on time. So Ancient Tomb and Moxjet, no more plays. So now we get to turn our deck over. Here they are. Found them. I've got 37 cards. Yeah. Narcomoeba. Discard these 2 guys. I'd love a Narcomoeba. Thanks for asking. Dredger Troll down to 20 cards in deck. Another Narcomoeba. I don't know what I've got in my graveyard. I'm not checking. Therapy U. Got it all. Let's just ask for Golos, please. Trigger, 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 trigger. Blah, blah, blah. Golos, Tireless Pilgrim. Bink. They've got the Tabernacle. They've got a Lodestone Golem. They didn't play a Nettle Cyst. Nobody knows why. Let's take that then. So have I found any Icarids? 0 Icarids. So we need to keep digging. So what do they have? Nettle Cyst, Metamorph, Lodestone Golem. So take a Nettle Cyst. We'll get rid of this guy. They are going to tab us next turn, but that's not a drama, I don't think. I just need to go and find my Icarids. Where are they? How many are in exile? Absolutely 0. Cool. There's one in my sideboard, though. I do remember that much. Nettle Cyst, right? Is that what I'm taking? Yeah, because the Lodestone and copy note Lodestone always trades with Icarids. So Nettlesis gets discarded, hopefully, depends on how well I can type. Yeah, and Modo crashes. Um, and then all my creatures die. And I've got to click no. That was a really messed up draw. They just kill themselves. I'm not counting this, but I'm pretty sure that's more than 20. They had the Tabernacle in hand. That was a messed up draw anyway, because you could have just gone Tabernacle Saga, but I think they've just killed themselves, which I'm really on board with. So, Lodestone's good, but I don't think it's going to block all of this. Opponent's having a think. Probably, yeah. Bit of a misstep from our opponent there. But I still think we're in relatively decent shape. So I'm going to get Bazaar activations. So let's just think through the final turn. I'm going to untap, I'm going to activate my Bazaar. I'm going to dredge, let's say 10, getting down to 10 cards in deck. Then I'm going to dredge probably just the Stinkweed Imp on my draw step, going down to 5 cards in deck. That will hopefully find my 3 Ichorids remaining. And then my Ichorids from next turn go kind of nuts. They can never attack me. And I just Ichorid them every turn. But the issue then is that the whatever they get with the Saga. If their Graveyard Hate is Needle, then that's fine, I win. If their Graveyard Hate is Soul Guide Lantern, then I probably lose and we go to game 3. But as it is, we're 4-0, 8-0, and I'll see you for the final round. Okay, final round. We're up against Jose. Nice, nice trophy match opponent. Consistent top 8 competitor. We're on the play. We've got 2 Bazaars. I'm gonna pitch a therapy. I'm gonna say done, and then let's activate Bazaar. Ooh, so I can't maintain Force, second Bazaar, and Hollow One. So never mind. Is that a never mind situation? I think so. I think I don't care. I should pitch the therapy though. Let's cast the Hollow One first, because that might bait the Force of Will, and then we can chalice them and they'll lose. No, that didn't happen. So over to the opponent here. I don't want to therapy them with my Hollow One. So that was a pretty powerful opener from us. Let's see what Jose has today. Typically, I assume dual in mono white. Ancient Tomb doesn't clarify that. Busy Needle is annoying. So is this shops? Just like that. Just turn on Busy Needle you. Just just had it. Well, this is the first time I feel like we've faced resistance, right? Like the other games have gone super smoothly, cruised through. This is the first one where we're going to like have to have a bit of a battle about it. Hopefully, the rest of their hand is like 3 Moxen, but let's see. Let's start with their 1 mana floating, thinking about what they can do. We can't activate a Bazaar again this game, so let's dredge our Shambling Shell. And we hit Stinkweed Imp for the future. No point in playing our Bazaar because we want to get to 7 as quickly as possible. Still not going to therapy them, so I've got no idea what they're playing. And yeah, it's a Caracas, so it could be mono white, could be shops. Let's dredge a Stinkweed Imp. Let's try and put a Narcomoeba into play, see if they've got a. They don't have the Containment Priest there just yet, so let's attack. And I did get a therapy, so I'm going to therapy them and take a look. What do you think the name is here, though? Ancient Tomb, Caracas. but they've got a needle, so it's not mono white, so it's shops. So we name Golos. Let's go with that. Golos can get Tabernacle, Tabernacle can kill us. So Golos, Tireless Pilgrim. Black Lotus, Emerald, Jet, Ruby. Correct. Um, cool. I don't want any of those. You'll go. That was funny. So they're dead on board, um, provided no top deck Golos. They've found something that costs mana. I'm not on board with this. But do they want to show me? Because I can't just eat this Shambling Shell and get into lethal still, right? Mystic Forge. Wow. Mystic Forge Exiles. Mishra's Workshop. And they concede. Perfect. Thanks for playing. So, shops again. So, Vigors, Wastelands. Misstep this time is going to go. Griefs on the draw. 2 cuts required. I think actually cutting the Icarids last time was a mistake. So I'm going to cut Thug and Therapy and keep the Chalice. Keep the Chalice? Chalice on the draw is always awkward. So let's keep the Therapy. Oh, actually, I do want my misstep because of the needle. Right. Sorry. Yeah, so over to Jose. This time they're on the play. So their turn on needle this time will be excruciating to deal with. Two Icarids getting exiled is always really annoying because against the Tabernacle decks, Icarid is one of the big ways you win. So yeah, this hand's perfect. So let's keep this. We've got a force for the needle. That's a Lotus. I'm gonna let him have it. Caracas. Lotus ain't got on. I guess we'll counter that, otherwise I'm not using my force of will ever. And we find an Icarid. So we'll play Bazaar of Baghdad, we'll activate it. So I'm gonna go with 2 dredges just because I assume I'm getting wastelanded. So it's gonna be Thug, Icarid, Shambling Shell. And then we can try and feed the Icarid on upkeep if they don't waste us, but the likelihood of them not wasting us is so low. Because I think they run, what, 7? Because they've got Ghost Cultists as well. So no plays. This is my graveyard. I think we'll let the Icarid chill out for a moment because we want to make sure that we get to dredge cards. That's a Thug. Thug doesn't hit anything notable. Oh, well, it does. It hits a stink. We don't panic about therapy. Sorry, that was like a massive lie. Don't know why I'm lying to you. All the information's on the screen. But we are going to hold this wasteland for the turn that we deploy a bunch of threats. All right, we'll just lose then, I guess. Right. So I guess we're on to. Oh, I guess we're on to just naturally drawing cards to try and find a vigor then. Let's check out Excel pile quickly. 0 vigors over there. Make sure we brought them in. Yeah, I did do that. Right. So no, I don't want to use Icarid. No, I don't want to dredge. Let's pass the turn. That has made it harder. And this is why we held the wasteland, right? Because we don't want our wasteland to get wastelanded when they might, Jesus, when they might just get rid of it. So no and yes. So let's send it back to Jose, who's building into a decent position of their own. Because we need this wasteland to hit a tabernacle, is what I'm trying to say. Sphere of Resistance is going to make life really hard. So no and cancel. Let's discard a card. I think I'll just discard a powder. Yeah, this is tough to come back from. 3 wastelands. Bro, that's all 4 of them. Just relax. I only had 1 Bazaar this game. So we'll discard. I guess I should discard something graveyard centric at some point. Let's discard a therapy. The reason I'm like messing around like this with what I discard is I don't want them to draw like just a Soul Guide Lantern and bink my whole graveyard and I lose. So they've got a Mystic Forge and 1 card in hand, but all the cards on top of the deck. So no thank you. No thank you. There's a misstep out of counter the Graph Digger's Cage. So let's go to the end step and discard a powder. We'll discard powder, graveyard card, powder, graveyard card. I think that's the correct sequencing. So it's gonna be really hard for us to get. Like I can't imagine they're ever letting me get to their upkeep with a wasteland in play. This is gonna get Saga. It looks like we might drop a game. Who knew that was possible? I did. I went 1-7 this weekend in challenges. It was horrific. It was a very, very bad weekend um, for me and my Bazaar decks. So I think we're good to pack it up here, right? They're gonna make Saga tokens. I can not really ever get to their upkeep. They've got a Mystic Forge just for resistance. So we're gonna pack that one up and go to our first game 3 and our final game of the league. So do we want to reinstate grief into the equation? I think the forces are better because if they leyline me, then I can't counter a leyline either. What am I talking about? Why do I think the forces are better? Just because it hits everything and protects against the top of the deck a little bit better. Um, I think I'm happy with this configuration going into game 3 against shops. We're on the play, so let's hope for another high card count. We've hardly gone low today, so that's something to jinx before we get into it. Here we go. Powder that. Powder that. That's 2 vigors gone. Powder that. That's where my powder's gone. 2 bazaars. So keep. All right, let's tuck the XL pile because that was tough. 2 vigors. 3 Icarids. I don't like that at all. 1 bridge. Some blue cards. 1 wasteland. 1 wasteland is good news. Let's go to our main phase, play our Bazaar and activate it. They've kept 7, which is kind of gross. We'll discard all 3 black cards, hold on to a negation and blue, and then we've got Shambling Shell as well, which we can draw into a vigor later. So what do we have to negate? We have to negate Cage, we have to negate Needle. Yeah, a lot. Patchwork Automaton, I cannot negate, so that's quite cool. Sapphire I can negate, but I'm not going to. They've got 5 cards in hand. I want to know what the joke is about their 7-card keep. That's the Pithing Needle. So let's counter that. Over to you, Jose. Do you have a second one? No. Nice. So let's Treasure Stinkweed Imp. Treasure Stinkweed Imp. Get our graveyard out. So 1 bridge, 1 Poxwalkers. The other 2 wasteland effects. So Tabernacles are just in play, and I've got 1 Icarid to cope with it. I'm gonna discard. I'm going to exile a Golgari Thug to my Icarid. I'm going to Treasure Stinkweed Imp. The reason I'm keeping the green Dredger is because it pitches to the Vigors. And I really just want to get quite deep into my deck and just pray they don't have the actual Factual Tabernacle. So let's go Stinkweed Imp. Oh, I've not got many cards, have I? I've powdered a billion times. Maybe I don't have any therapies left. 10 cards in deck. I've already found my Icarus here. Let's go back to the exile pile before I decide how many cards I want to get rid of. One. Oh, I've just got mono therapies left in my deck. Hmm. 6 puts me down to 4 cards. I think I've got to. Discard these 3. Use Narcomoeba's ability. Main phase. How many bridges do I have? 2. So I do want to therapy them. I'm going to get rid of my Narcomoeba. So they've got the Tabernacle, they've got the Tabernacle. That's very upsetting. But we should be able to strip their hand otherwise. Let's say Golos, please. Because that's the thing that gets the Tabernacle. Saga, Crucible, Nessus, Wasteland. I can beat that. Okay. And then I don't have another therapy. So let's exile some cards. So Bazaar, Strip, Negation, Force of Will, Misstep. And now let's send. So they might block, if they chop block the hollow one, then Nestle's supposed to be smaller and I'll have no bridges. Then I'll get an Amalgam. They just took it. What did I miss? What did I miss? Just a top deck Tabernacle. Is that what I missed? So Nettle Cyst. That's not gonna do anything against us right now. My board looks good. There we go. A trip to Trophyville for the Dredge deck. So we cut the chills, which kind of loses a lot of your late game reach, right? But we did bring in this very powerful engine of bridge Poxwalker's therapy, and we're able to disrupt quite a few opponents like that throughout the league. We saw quite a few different decks, right? We beat Lurus, we beat Mono White, we beat Shops twice, which isn't common for your Bazaar decks. So yeah, I think it was a pretty nice iteration on Dredge, and we beat Dredge, right? So yeah, I think that was a pretty successful league. We only dropped 1 game to Jose there in game 2. We really locked them out with the Chalice in turn 1. I like the idea of 4 shoals because of the prevalence of Containment Priest and a tick up in Yix of the Jailers I found. But I think the downside of the way I've built this deck right now is going to be the absence of Noxious Revival, because that's a green card for your figures. That's why I'm playing the Gap, because there's +1 green card. And it means that the wastelands and strip mines that your opponents have just happen. They're uncontested. Your Bazaars are dead. But I think that was a pretty nice showing for Poxwalkers again. So pretty impressed with that. Might play this in the coming weekend. But yeah, no, thanks for watching. Sick league. I had a lot of fun, and I'll catch you later.